today I might as well throw away my camera and all my lights because I'm gonna show you how to make that ad with just an iPhone. Okay, so the brand for today is gonna be this soda called Culture Pop. Not sponsored. I honestly just love the packaging and the name of the company. Now I know I'm pretty dark. That's because I wanted to show you what the shot is looking like using just this window and without any artificial lights or any extra thing added at all. All right, so as you can see, it's not looking too bad. But as you can see, there is a little bit of a hot spot running right across the logo, and there's a super budget thing that we can do to get rid of that. Paper. All I'm gonna do is simply just hold that piece of paper just right over the camera, just like that. And just by doing that, that'll help eliminate the majority of that hot spot. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is give this can a rim light. Now, you might be asking, how I'm gonna do that without artificial lights? I'm just gonna use this white cardstock paper and set it right behind the bottle. And as you can see, that's giving the can a nice bounce from the window light. It's crazy how you can manipulate the light with things that cost no more than like 10 bucks. All that's left to do is snap a quick photo. Do I wish that I could fine-tune the lighting a little more? Yes, I wish that I could throw in some RGB and maybe use some softboxes, but that's not the point. The point of this video is to show that you can create awesome content right now. You just gotta be creative and resourceful. All right, so I just got the photo of this can, and because the flavor is called Wild Berry, I'm actually gonna take a few photos of some fruit on a kebab stick. After that, I repeated the process, but for the other two flavors. Fun fact, it's actually a lot harder to cut a good looking orange than you might think. You can see my frustration right there. The photos are now done. First, I'm gonna import all my photos into Photoshop, then start the painstaking process of cutting each can and fruit out. This has to be the worst part of anything. All right, all my photos are now cut out. It's time to finally import them into Premiere. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is actually center my can. Then I'm going to decrease its scale to maybe 75%. Actually, no, let's do about 80%. Then if I were to drag a vertical line to the side of my can, you can see that it's not completely vertical, and that's just, something about that is just super unsatisfying. It's not gonna look good to me or to the viewer. So I'm actually going to go over to my rotation and rotate that until it looks about vertical at that line. So I would say something like that. Then I'm going to go about 8 frames in and create a scale keyframe. I'm actually gonna raise the scale to about 85. Then I'm gonna move 3 frames again and actually put the scale back to 80%. Lastly, I'm gonna go all the way to the very beginning and put it to about 40%. All right, let's see how that's looking so far. So what happens if we were to speed that up a lot more? I think it's starting a little bit too small. So let's say maybe 60%. So I still may need to mess around with the timing and maybe some keyframe interpolation. As you can see, that's already giving us that nice pop effect. Now this background is looking a little boring. So what I'm actually gonna do is create a color matte, and let's match it to maybe this light blue. I think that could look pretty good. As you can see, adding a background already gives this ad way more just life and character. Now, another thing that makes this can's motion really unnatural is, just watch. It's just too clean. There's no motion blur. Okay, so this is what the can's looking like with a background and also with some added motion blur to make it look way more natural. Now you may remember me taking a few photos of some blueberries. So what I'm gonna do is actually take them and import them into our timeline and just kind of spread them out wherever I see fit. As you can see, with some that are out of focus in the background and the ones that are kind of larger in the foreground, this adds a lot of good depth to the image. Now, this is what the shot is looking like as of right now. So notice that the cans actually have these lines that go above like the blueberry. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to add some like animated swirling lines to really just add to that pop effect. So actually found this cool pack with some animated lines and bubbles. Now I found this pack from Storyblocks, but not sponsored, but business email in the description. Anyways, by adding those into the actual shot, I think it just adds that, you know, cherry on top. All that's left to do is literally rinse and repeat what I just did, but with the other two flavors. Once I was done assembling the other shots, I created a circle mask to transition from one to the next. To really bring this ad to life, I just need to add some sound effects and music. Once all is said and done, this is what I'm left with.